Welcome to the game, everybody. We're going to get started.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that I am pulling up your stream, but I'm putting it in the background so I can't see or hear it.
Okay.
You don't need to yell at me.
All right. Now, does anybody wish to give us kind of a rundown on where we're at?
I can start, and then maybe Snow can fill some details. So, we got banned from the Sword Mountains by the big bad druid guy, but it's just on the right hand side where the red is, right?
Yep.
I believe. Yeah, and additionally, we chose not to kill the hill giants, and we ended up completing that task, and then we headed back over to Fendelin, and we handed in the information quest. We all collected our moonies, and we were just about to leave to head off to Thunder Tree. Oh, also, Maddie, or Ray and Ren both got cursed.
Yeah.
And I believe that is everything that happened last session.
Yeah. All right. So, you guys are just getting ready to head off. Now, is there any particular path you guys want to take to Thunder Tree? You guys basically know the way. You can see it on your map here. Is there a particular path you wish to take?
So the field, is it like super firm, or is it like has been raining lately?
I mean it's pretty average. Hold on a sec. What season is it right now?
Because the big question is, I'm just trying to see if it's gonna take longer if we just go straight across where the field is and hug the tree line all the way there.
Okay. So, it's just kind of the end of summer right now. So there hasn't been much rain. So I mean, it's still, long grass and whatnot, but if you guys are trying to make haste, could be your best option.
Okay. I mean, so Zin would suggest that if we're trying to get there quickly, maybe we should just move straight to Thunder Tree and just cut through the fields and maybe hug the tree line. But if anyone has any other suggestions, he's open to hear it.
Sounds like good sense to me.
Yeah, I'm on board with that idea as well.
Okay, so
Also, quick side note: next time, we just killed the hill giants because apparently trying to be nice screws us up.
it was more that you guys killed a goat to feed a hill giant. That's what the druid's pissed about.
Oh, I know.
If you guys had killed it and ate it yourselves, it would have been, natural selection, and he wouldn't have had a problem.
I see.
Dude, it's a circle of life. They're natural predators.
Well, it's okay. We're banned. It's fine. We'll deal with it.
So let me take a look, see how long this trip will take you. Each hexagon is 5, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55-ish. So a little over 2 days and change to get there. So, you guys begin to head out on your journey. I believe you guys were leaving first thing in the morning, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, it's also the 18th, right?
It is. Yep, shit's gonna get interesting. It's too bad Maddie's sick.
Yeah, sorry, Maddie.
So, you guys start heading out. The sun is shining. It's warm, but there's a cool breeze. Kind of foreshadowing the coming fall when the leaves start to change colors. The wind starts to get cooler. But you guys are traveling. You probably made it about 10 miles. You guys are getting pretty close to where the Tribor Trail meets the offshoot to Fendalen. I would like Valoran. Give me a D100, please. You guys see coming down the Tribor Trail 6 men. They're carrying something. It takes a moment before you guys realize what it is. Seems they're carrying a casket. Behind them there is a long funeral procession. Falling quietly. You can hear some mourning. What would you guys like to do?
Ray kind of steps off to the side and kind of like bows her head in respect and like makes way for the party, I guess, to pass.
Zin will follow suit.
It's 3. I think that's a great course.
As they begin to pass you by, one of the pallbearers trips and falls into the one in front of him. That one then also trips, and pretty soon all 6 pallbearers are tumbling to the ground. The casket hits the ground and bursts open. Water spills forth, soaking the ground in front of them on the trail. They all look perplexed as they open up the rest of the casket and find there's no body inside. It's just water. Where is he? Where's my son's body? You see one of the pallbearers break down and start sobbing. People are comforting him, but there's lots of looks of confusion bouncing all along the funeral procession as well as the pallbearers. Give me a perception. One of you. You guys can choose who.
Sure, I'll shoot.
All right.
Oh, you see it? Okay.
Yep. Sorry, I was having some issues with my...
No, you're fine. I just wanted to make sure I didn't screw it up.
Yeah, 21. You notice that although all through the funeral procession there's wails and confusion, but there's one person looking on with a kind of a stone facade, not really showing any emotion, smiling, no tears, no confusion. And then he begins to turn and walk back the way the procession was coming from. What do you guys want to do?
Can Ray point out to the father that, like, what's this guy doing?
He follows your pointed finger. You! You there! Who are you? The man pauses and he kind of sends a look back over his shoulder. and continues walking. He's wearing a black cloak with a very wide-brimmed black hat, kind of riding low on his forehead. He also has the hood of the cloak up over the backside of his hat. But the man keeps going.
Can Ray pick up a pebble off the ground and throw it to like hit him in the back of the head or something?
Sure, that would be that's a D20 plus your dex. So you can just do a dex check. So if you just click dexterity in the column there on the far left. Well, that's a save, but I'm pretty sure that you're
Yeah, it's the same.
I tried to cancel it so that I could fix it, but then it just rolls. I don't know how to like cancel a roll before I roll.
You can't. Once you hit the button, it rolls. But
well,
your save is the same as your dexterity modifier, so you don't even make it half the distance before the rock hits the ground.
How far away from the group is this guy?
Probably getting close to about 50 feet.
I'm gonna cast sleep on the guy.
Okay, sure.
Interesting.
Keep posted for me?
Sure.
So, you're supposed to roll 5d8.
Let's see if I can figure that out.
/R space 5d8. He keeps walking. Anybody else want to try something?
Can I try to throw a pebble?
Sure. Same thing. Dex check. You hit him with the pebble. He stops. He doesn't turn around, though.
Creepy.
You do see him kind of look over his shoulder slightly.
Okay. I'll yell out to him. Hey, you over there. Where are you going?
It seems the funeral is over. I'm no longer needed here.
What do you mean by needed?
Well, that is my business. What does a passerby care?
It's just quite an odd reaction to have, considering you were with the group carrying the cask over to just walk away when clearly something is amiss.
So he wasn't one of the pallbearers. He was just in the funeral procession.
Yeah, so he was with
Okay.
the group, right? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like one of the.
Okay, yeah. If there's no body to bury, then I need not be here.
I guess then nods and lets him go.
He kind of almost looks up to the sky slightly before bringing his head back down quickly. The sun is rather bright today, and I'm not a big fan. I'm going to go home. And then
can I perhaps say something to him in Undercommon?
Sure. What do you want to say?
I wish you the best on your journey.
He responds with, I don't know what you are speaking. Maybe it's beneath me.
Damn it.
And then he seems to look over to somebody in the funeral procession. And he outstretches a gloved hand. You are unable to hear what he's saying. But then a very attractive, yet sad-looking woman takes his hand and begins to walk with him. As they walk away.
Anybody have any garlic?
What do you want garlic for?
To give to the vampire guy.
Sounds like you need to make a insight or nature at disadvantage. Yeah, you're unaware of what he is, or what he may be.
Can I just like accidentally in quotations, like step on the back of his cloak when he walks away?
You guys are like 50 feet away from him.
Ah, okay, never mind.
So do you wish to carry on, or do you wish to follow this guy?
Which direction is he going?
He's heading back towards, like, you guys are about here right now. And it looks like he's headed back to the crossroads of the Tribord Trail and the offshoot to Fendellen.
I mean, we're heading that way anyway, right?
All right.
To that crossroad. I mean, I say we go.
Works for me.
Curiosity is tingling inside this kitty cat.
At least until we get to the split.
So it takes you about another 3 miles or so before you get to the Tribord Trail. Are you guys trying to like be sneaky about following him, or y'all just like, we're going the same way?
Yeah, at this point, I think I'm just casually walking that way because, you know, that's the way we're headed as well.
All right. Yeah, it takes you about another 2.5 to 3 miles, and you hit the Tribord Trail. He turns left. What are you guys doing?
I
Hello.
don't know that we've got enough to hold him on, but I mean, I'll go either way.
It's interesting. It's a tough one.
I want to find out if he's a vampire.
That's good. I mean, I'll be honest, but
I mean, all right, we can follow.
So, before you do follow, though, Ray, you are not sure that he's a vampire. Just to be
I
clear.
know. Yeah. I just
Alright.
have a suspicion. Can I have a suspicion about it?
So because of your insight roll,
Oh yeah, it was pretty bad. It was 8, right?
Yeah, you really didn't put together that this guy had any kind of magical effect he was doing. All you know is that he whispered to somebody in the crowd and she got up and left with him.
Okay, so like, do I know like what a vampire is, like generally speaking? Because
So-
the reason I ask is like he has a big hat, he has gloves, he doesn't like the sunlight.
So that was what the insight roll was for, to see if you could figure out. You know what? I'll allow you a nature at disadvantage. Yeah, that's a no.
Okay.
So you can definitely think that there's something shady about this person, but what it is, I mean, that part you really have no idea.
Yeah. Then I say if we're thinking he's just a shady individual because we don't actually know that he's a vampire at all, or even have a suspicion because it was that bad, I think we just continue on our main quest, if that's okay with everybody else.
Yeah, I think so. If I didn't know that, yeah, I agree.
All right.
fine with me.
All right, so you guys continue on.
Sorry.
No worries. You guys are, I mean, you're mostly still new, so, like, you know.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to learn how that specific part works because that's a little more on the RP side, right?
Yeah, because, like, you know, just because you know a troll might be, you know, weak to fire in real life doesn't mean your character knows that kind of thing,
Yeah,
right?
that's the tricky part, yeah. I'm still learning that piece.
So you guys continue on. At this point, it's probably getting about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys continue on, heading straight towards the Neverwinter Wood. I would like... Let's go with Ray. Give me a D100. Yeah, that one doesn't work. Give me another D100. It's like, this one only works if it's nighttime. Well, shit, like, what's the point in putting it in a fucking random encounter table?
It makes it really hard to do it only half the time. No, a perfect 100? Damn.
Don't be a mimic. Don't be a mimic.
So, as you guys are continuing toward towards the Neverwinter Wood, what's your marching order?
I'll lead if nobody has any objections to that.
None here. I will be
Alright.
kind of in the middle-ish. Wondering.
I'll go with the back.
All right, so in that case, Zin, roll me a perception at advantage. You see a massive ogre carrying an ornate broadsword ahead of you. He buries the end of it into the grass. Then he seems to sit down near a fire. He pulls a leg off of an animal that's sitting on the spit. It's a very big leg. And tears into it. All the while humming a really bad tune.
What's my knowledge of ogres?
Give me a nature. Not a lot. You do know that they're usually not very bright creatures, but they're also very strong. And most of them are evil, and they usually side with like ogres and orcs and other things. But there's some that aren't evil.
Okay,
But you don't want to cross them.
gotcha. Can I tell what animal it's eating?
Oh yeah, you've done this one 100 times. It's a deer.
Okay, so it's nothing crazy. And he doesn't notice us yet?
Nope. Not if you're trying to be stealthy.
Okay, so I'll put my hand up to the group to tell them to hold. And then I'll creep back over to them to let them know that I can see an ogre up ahead.
When we look, do we see whether he's alone or does his camp suggest there may be others with him?
It looks like there's only one. He's probably got about 80 feet ahead of you. But he's sitting out in the open. He's not like, doesn't look like he's trying to hide. Zin, you also see a very large set of armor sitting next to him.
Like a large set as in like an ogre size set?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a warrior.
Do you think there's value in interacting with him, or maybe better to bypass?
Hard to say.
I'll never know till we try it.
Yeah, I suppose we could continue walking on, or we could hedge over to the tree line to try to sneak past him. I don't know much about ogres, but I do know that they're not usually to be messed with.
Can I communicate something to the group?
What do you want to
Can
communicate?
can I just like bring everybody in and be like, he's sitting in the open. He doesn't seem to be afraid. Maybe if he's a warrior, like Zin thinks, he's used to seeing like other races, so maybe he won't smash us if we get close.
So we just walk around him and keep an eye on him. If he charges or starts to put his armor on, we know we've got a problem. Other than that, live and let live.
Yeah, that seems to be the best course of action. Not a direct avoidance, but just keeping an eye on him.
Sounds good.
So you guys are going to try to go around him?
Yeah.
What size of a berth are you giving him?
You said he's about 80 feet out.
Yeah.
How wide is this clearing?
I mean, the clearing, you guys are pretty much about here.
Okay. And how much on either side of him do we have?
As much as you want. It's just
Oh, like
grasslands.
it's a ton of space. Yeah, so it's sorry, I'm having a hard time with the scale before we hit like the trees. Yeah, so maybe we just stay about 80 feet away from him roughly as we walk by.
Okay. Are you guys trying to be stealthy, or are you guys just walking?
Ray's just like wandering, like just chill and walking. She's not really concerned about it.
I'll just walk, but keep an eye on him.
Yeah, same.
All right, so you guys keep an eye on him. All three of you can give me a perception. All right. I'm going to say both Ray and Val. You notice him notice you. And as he's looking, he stands up. He grabs his sword. And he begins walking towards you. His sword is kind of like just leaned on his shoulder. He's about 40 feet from you now. Is there anything you guys wish to do?
Calling him to hold and ready a magic missile.
Sorry, you're going to tell him to hold?
Yes.
He stops.
How can we help you?
I, Garg! And he kind of like brings his empty fist and pounds his chest. I want do good. You help Garg do good? And he kind of like takes his sword off of his shoulder and like stretches it out, and he like flexes his arm. It's one muscly ogre.
Can Ray just like get this big curiosity smile on her face because she's never seen an ogre that's friendly or says he wants to be friendly, and just like wave and like kind of jump up and down a little bit?
He then turns his sword upside down, buries half of it in the ground, and begins to wave back. Who? You?
Ray will take a step forward, but not too close, and then kind of do like a little fake curtsy thing and be like, say her name, I'm Ray.
Nice cat lady. You? And he points at Val. Horned one. Name?
My name Val.
Ah.
We also do good.
Oh. Good, good. Good is good. Yeah, good. You dark-skinned one? What name?
Zin takes a step forward and gives a short bow. My name is Zin Duerden. How may we help you do good?
At the mention of the last name, he stops. Dark elf? Duerden? And he looks like he's thinking. He's kind of like tapping his chin with one massive finger. Why Garg no name?
That might be from a relative of mine.
Oh. Famous daddy?
Yeah, yes, perhaps. Famous for doing good.
Good is good. What good you do today?
Well, today so far, it doesn't appear we have done much good. We have just been wandering towards our next destination. What good have you done today?
He looks back at Fire. Deer. Eat farmer crops. I eat deer. And he puts on this big, stupid, shit-eating grin.
Can Ray kind of like sort of peer around him and like eyeing the deer and kind of like give almost like those, you know, those like anime drooly faces? One of those.
You hungry?
Ray kind of startled. She didn't realize she was doing it, but she like nods her head slowly.
Come. Eat guard deer.
Ray's just like ecstatic. This is one of the weirdest things that's happened in her life. So she just kind of like skips over to where the fire is.
And what about the other two?
Zin will follow along, not skipping over, but just normal walking. A little confused at this interaction that is coming about.
As you guys are walking towards camp behind him, the homie smells. He's an ogre after all. Not the cleanliest creatures. So he's awfully smelly. But as you get closer to the fire, you can smell the deer. It smells like there's a lot of herbs and spices on that sucker. It smells delicious. Garg walks over, and he just rips off another leg. And then another, and then another. And he hands everybody their own leg. I would like everybody to give me an athletics, see if you can hold on to this sucker.
Okay.
God damn.
Wow.
So, as you guys each go to take this leg that he's handing you, each one of you doesn't realize how heavy it is. And you go to take it, and it starts to dip. Pretty much everybody's, like, you know, a little piece of the deer kind of lands in the dirt. Ah, it okay. Extra flavor. And he picks up his deer leg out of the dirt and immediately just stuffs a big chunk of it in his mouth. Now, there is about 96% of these deer legs that have not hit the dirt, so you guys can still eat it without eating dirt.
Cooked? Or is it still raw?
No, it's cooked. No, it's cooked.
Okay. Yeah, then let's chow down.
Yeah, Zin will dig in, definitely making sure there's no dirt on his piece.
Ray will walk over to a non-dirty piece and kind of crouch down with like her like arms in between her legs, kind of, and just like stuffing her face.
Like I said, the deer
in
leg does have like 99% of it's not covered in dirt. It's just like one tip dipped in because she couldn't hold on to it. But if you want to just put it down and go get more off the fire, I guess you could.
Then I'll just eat the piece I have.
Alright.
And I'll just like stuff my face and like in between chewing, I'll just be like saying thank you a lot.
Yeah.
No worry.
Sorry, go.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Zin, as he tastes this, it appears, Garg, you are quite the cook. It's Garg, right?
Yes, Garg. Garg cook. Many love Garg cook. And he rips off another strip off this leg. Chews it very sloppily, Little pieces kind of flying out of his mouth. So, you travel? Where you travel?
Going to
Well-
Thunder. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, as I say, well, Garg, we travel all over. We find quests and we help people. We help them solve some of their problems. And when you asked us to help you do good, we're kind of curious as to what we can do to help you with your problems.
No problem. I do same as you. Most run from Garg. Garg's scary.
Zin chuckles a little bit. Well, Garg, you're quite a unique sight around these parts. I would assume.
Family. Dead. Mostly. Not dead family. Not good.
I see. So that is why you decided to set on your own path?
Aye. Garg want do good.
Can Ray just like get up from her food and like go sit close to Garg? But like she's having a tough time with the smell, but she's also trying to be polite and just like grab onto his like finger, I guess, and be like, "We can be friends."
Garg's face lights up and smiles. Garg? Friends? And he's just got this big stupid grin on his face again. He's missing a bunch of teeth. And when he smiles, every time he breathes, it's like a hot wave of nausea.
Okay, like in between trying to hide a gag, I like reach into my pouch and pull out my last like shitty carving and just like give it to him and just say, "Here's a gift of our friendship."
It fits in like a tenth of his palm. And he looks at it, he's like, gift for Garg?
Yeah, I made it.
Oh, pretty. What is gift?
I just like look at him curiously as like almost as if to say like you don't know. It's a bear.
Oh, yeah. Bear good eating too. Garg, thank
can't
you.
eat-
He slips it into
Right.
a pouch on his belt.
Okay, can like Ray say you're welcome and then sort of quickly get up and move to somewhere that has some fresh air, but without being impolite?
Sure. So, can Garg join?
I'll look at Ray and Zen and shrug. I'm okay with it.
Garg, I don't see why not for a while at least, until we have to part ways for whatever reason.
Yeah! He kind of startles you guys with like a burst of excitement. It takes you guys a second to realize that he is actually like cheering, cause it kind of came out as just a fucking roar.
What?
Garg, you good. He finishes up the strip of the leg that's left, and he's kind of like hucks the bone behind him into the field. Garg ready when you ready. But he stops for a moment. He looks at Ren. Why orc sad? Ren kind of looks up. Says that, she's not sad. She's fine. You guys can do an insight check if you'd like.
Yes, please. All of us or just one of us?
All of you if you'd like. Yeah, Ray and Zin. She's not sad. She looks worried, though. A little anxious.
Can Ray walk over to Ren and just like grab her kind of wrist and look her in the eye and be like, "Is everything okay?"
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't know. I think maybe for at least, the night, it's better if you guys go on without me.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I just need a night or two on my own.
Okay, can Ray just let Ren know we're headed to Thunder Tree? Meet us there when you're ready.
Yeah, of course.
And then she'll like give her a hug, like a squishy bear hug.
She allows it. She doesn't really hug back, though. Garg
It's fine,
says,
she never does.
Orc, no come? Ren says, no, not tonight. I'll catch up with you guys, though. Garg takes a little time, puts on his armor. And he's ready to go when you guys are, as he picks up his massive broadsword.
Ray is gonna like quickly have like a piece of cloth and stuff some meat in there to save for later, and then like put it in my pouch before being ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. In fact, everybody can take some slices off this, put it in as, 4 days rations.
Okay, sounds good. Got it.
All right. Before you guys leave, Garg tells Ren, keep camp. Yours, till you no need no more. She says thank you and kind of quietly nods and just stares at the fire. But you guys are able to cover a few more miles before setting out. Let's see, 5, 10, 20. Yeah, you guys are able to get to about here.
Okay, that's not bad.
And that interaction took place back here. So, Garg is following you guys. However, we'll get, I believe Zin is the last one to roll for encounters today.
Yes.
D1 hundo.
Nice. Best roll.
Ew, be a grown up.
grown-up's so fucking overrated.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is.
Can you give me another D100? Because that one is absolute trash.
That's fine.
Trying to run a serious game, and this thing's like, I'm gonna pull the fucking stupidest shit out of the hat that I can.
Listen, you just tell me to roll, I'll keep rolling.
Huh. As you guys are getting ready to set up camp, a few knights riding by on horseback suddenly stop. And you see them looking at your group.
He's with us and he's good.
Back off, my friend.
They start heading towards your group. They're not charging in, but they are heading towards you.
Zin will motion for Garg to stay where he is, and he will start walking towards the group, or the group that's heading towards us.
Can
Casually.
Ray just? Oh, sorry. Can
You cut out.
Sorry, I had to put the dog down. Can Ray just like try to cover him up with like sticks and twigs and brush?
This is a 13-foot creature and about, like, I don't know, 6 to 7 feet wide. Like,
I know. She knows that like it's not meant to be like a she's actually, you know what I mean? It's like a futile effort.
yeah, sure. As you start doing this, Garg looks up and sees Zin walking towards the knights. Oh, new friends for Garg, and he starts waving.
No. Stop. Not friends.
Everybody, new friend.
No, not everybody.
Zin, the knights stop as you approach.
Unintentional, sorry.
Valorant fires off a bolt at the knights.
No!
So they stop as you approach. Evening.
Good evening, Zin, with a slight bow. How can I help you, gentlemen, today?
Well, I'm Darwin. This here is he points to one on his side who, although is riding a horse, also seems to be dressed in medium armor, except it seems to be made of wood. He says, this one here, this is Canopy. And over here, and this one seems to have robes on, with a very shiny mithril, a very shiny chain shirt that you can just see peeking from behind his robes. And this here, this is Glancaster. The other two nod. And who might you be, sir?
Why, my name is Zin.
Ah. Well, you see, we are the Knights of Challenge. And we come here today to offer a challenge.
Interesting. The Knights of Challenge. I cannot say I've ever heard of you. But, what is this challenge?
Well, we like to have a little contest before we go to bed every night. We like to find some travelers and challenge them.
Challenge them to what?
Depends on the travelers. Could be riddles. Could be strength contest. Hunting challenge. We have all sorts of them. But it looks like our group here be a pretty good challenge for your group.
Well, if you would like, I can take you towards the rest of the group, and you can state your challenge for us, and we can decide if it's something we'd like to take on.
Sure. Very well. Darwin dismounts, as do the other two, and they walk their horses into camp. As Garg sees them approaching, Ray, are you still trying to, like, cover him up with shit?
At this point, like, now that I see the guards are coming toward us, I'm just like, arms, like, my legs and arms are like full, like an X, and I'm just trying to, like, keep them from getting too close.
Hello, knight, says Garg, as Zin brings them into the camp. Hello, I am Darwin, this is Canopy and Glancaster. Do you all be up for a little bit of a challenge? A little contest, if you will?
What do these challenges entail?
Well, the horned one there seems like he might be someone of intelligence. So, Glancaster here would have a specific challenge for him. I would challenge this darker skinned fellow to maybe a hunting contest. He seems like he knows what he's doing with a bow. Whereas this one here, well, what kind of challenge do you have for her? Canopy? Canopy sits there and kind of scrutinizes you for a moment. Says, about a hide and go seek.
What's the catch? What do you get if you win or lose?
The knowledge that we have won or lost. As do you.
Ray looks slightly intrigued, but also skeptical.
It is up to you.
It does sound interesting to me. What do you say, Ray and Val?
As long as it's all in good fun, I'm game.
Yeah, no funny business and nobody getting hurt. Including Garg.
Garg. And he pounds his chest again.
Will someone be challenging Garg on this fine evening?
Well, I feel like all we would really have for him is challenge of combat, but I feel like that might be a little stacked against us.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Garg, are you okay to mind the camp while we head off on these challenges?
Garg, okay.
Well, it's settled then. Shall we?
By all means. The the wizard approaches Val, takes a seat next to him. Says, "We will tell each other riddles until one of us is 2 points ahead. The game doesn't end. Unless by forfeit. Do you accept these terms?"
I'm lousy at riddles. Do you have something else?
So, I will allow you to look up some riddles if you want to do that. As long as you're not looking at the answers I put up.
I would never do that.
So you want to do that one?
Sure, what the heck?
Alright, so I'll give you a few minutes to find some riddles.
Come on, do us proud, Mr. Wizard Man.
The, Darwin and Canopy both lead Zin and Ray closer to the edge of the forest. So, maybe you guys take one area and we'll take the other area. They can do their hide and seek over there, and you and I can do our hunting, you know, in that direction.
Sounds like a fine idea to me.
Okay. So Canopy's going to run down the rules. Wild shaping is allowed. Spell usage is allowed. First person to find the other one is the winner. You have to tag them. Deal, Ray?
Yeah, sounds good.
Darwin looks at you, Zen. Says, "Oh yeah, Canopy's gonna say that you guys get 10 minutes to, you know, to run into the forest and, you know, find a hiding spot." Darwin is going to tell you, Zin, 10 minutes. No actual hunting for 10 minutes. We're going to just wander out into the woods. And in 10 minutes, the hunt begins. I will signal the beginning of the hunt and of the game when I blow this horn. Sound good?
And the objective is the first to get game period, largest game, or the most game?
Well, I'll leave that part to you. Which do you prefer?
Well, I would not want to waste. Perhaps it is the first to get an animal.
Very well. So let's start. Val, how you doing? You found some yet?
Found a couple. I'm ready to go.
All right. He says, "All right. First riddle. Go ahead."
What has legs but cannot walk?
Fuck, I think I know this one too. I know I've heard it before. What the fuck's the answer? He's thinking. God damn it. I know I've heard this one. I give up. Valoran, what is the answer?
A chair.
Son of a bitch. He face palms. Wow, I can't believe I didn't get that one. Very well. 1-0. He says, I build castles, yet I tear down mountains. Make some men blind and others see. What am I?
A head scratcher. I'm gonna guess water.
Sand.
Sand.
It is your turn.
What key is the hardest to turn?
What key is the hardest to turn? Again, I know I've heard this one, but I can't think of the answer. I know it's a word that isn't an actual key, it just has the word key in it, but I can't remember. I seem to be at a loss.
A donkey.
I fucking knew it. Fucking knew it. Well, I guess that gives you 2-1. When you come to the end of all you know, I am there. Who am I?
Ignorance.
The letter W. When you come to the end of all you know, I am there.
Yeah.
Nice.
He chuckles. Seems that we're both very good at coming up with riddles, but not so good at answering them, huh? Believe it is your turn.
The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
Time.
Footsteps.
Son of a bitch. What is something that dawns on you even when it shouldn't?
Sun.
Sorry, what was that?
The sun.
The obvious.
Which apparently it wasn't.
Yes, I do enjoy that one. It is your turn again.
Prisoner is told, if you tell a lie, we will hang you. If you tell the truth, we will shoot you. What can he say to save himself?
Wow, what can he say to save himself? Nothing.
You will hang me.
What?
I don't know, blame Google, dude.
Hold on a second. Let me work that one out here. You will hang me.
Sorry, what was the riddle one more time?
Sure. Prisoner is told, if you tell a lie, we will hang you. If you tell the truth, we will shoot you. What can he say to save himself?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that way, whatever they choose, if they decide to shoot him, then he was telling a lie, which means he would have been hung. And if they hang him, he's telling the truth, which means he's supposed to be shot. So then they can't technically do either.
Smart. Smart.
Yeah, that's a sneaky one.
I'm made out of 5 letters. And I'm made out of 7 letters. I have keys, but I don't have locks. I'm considered with time, but not with clocks. What am I?
That by one more time, please.
I'm made out of 5 letters, and I'm made out of 7 letters. I have keys, but I don't have locks. I'm concerned with time, but not with clocks.
Music.
You know what?
Because you got 5 notes. 7 is it? Face and every good voice. Ah, shit, never mind. That's 4 and 5.
He's going to say, you're not far off. I'll allow you one more try at that.
Musicians?
Piano.
Ah, damn.
That was
That was
close.
actually my first guess, and I thought, no, that can't be it.
It was totally it.
Trust your gut.
Alright, so we're going to pause there. And at this point, sitting in the camp, the two of you and Garg hear a horn blow. Start with Ray. You hear the horn blow. You know you now need to search for your quarry. What would you like to do?
Sorry, I'm hunting her first.
You're both hunting each other. You just went in separate directions and then kind of hide until the game starts, and then you both try to find each other. And you have to touch the other one first. It's a different spin on hide and seek.
Okay, and just to clarify, we're in the woods, right? Like in the trees?
Yeah, you guys are like right in about here. Pretty much in this square. And like probably the top half of that square. And then Zin and Darwin are in the bottom half of this square.
Okay, and then can you remind me what time of day it is?
It is dusk. Sun is going down.
Okay, can I use my can I use my wild shape and change into a panther?
Do you have Panther as an option right now?
I think I have access
do.
to the C1 and 4. Yeah.
Sure. As you change into a panther, what would you like to do?
Can I like climb as high into the trees as I can and just like search for, just like see if I can see her as I like leap through the trees?
Are you trying to be stealthy about this?
Yes.
Roll me stealth. Remember, you got to use your panther stat block.
Okay, 1 second. Sorry, what am I rolling for?
Stealth.
Okay, because I don't have stealth on the Panther's character sheet.
So then Dex.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay. So, give me a perception. You see some animal footprints, but there's several animals that's been walking through this area. See some deer footprints. You see some big cat footprints. You even see some rabbit footprints. But they all seem to be going in different directions.
Can I smell where she may have gone? Like a direction?
You guys split off straight from the hop, right? So, like, you don't know what she's turned into or if she's turned anything into, or if she's turned into anything. So, like, are you trying to get her, like, her specific scent or the creature she turned into?
No, I was just thinking, like, her specific. Because if I'm a cat naturally, like in my normal life, so wouldn't I have good? I don't know.
So what you're looking for is whether you've got advantage on like a survival check, which I don't think the race you picked gives you that. However, I will allow you to do a perception check. Nope.
Okay, can I just continue to like hop through the trees and kind of head in the direction, like the opposite direction that I started, like towards her, and just see if I can, I don't know, find anything out on my way?
Are you trying to follow any tracks, or are you just retracing your steps?
I just wanted to like go in the direction that she went, because then she would be coming towards me and I should be going towards her, right?
No, you guys went in completely opposite directions to start the game.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking like if we split up and I say go to the north and she goes to the south, then I could just go south and because she would technically be coming north, wouldn't she? Like if we're trying to find each other?
She might be. You could try, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. You can continue leaping tree to tree. And as you do so, you're keeping an eye out. Give me a perception check. Okay. You do see some small rodent-like creatures in a few bushes in the area. Give me a... Actually, what would you like to do now that you've spotted some animals?
Can I like check where the bushes are? Maybe there's something like in the bushes.
Yeah, the rodents. Like, you gotta be more specific about what you're looking for.
Can I just like search the area and see if there's like any broken branches or like signs of not an animal has like tracked through, or something that is, I don't know, broken, that just seems off?
Sure. So you're looking for not necessarily a footprint trail, but a trail nonetheless. Correct?
Yeah. Something that seems more like unnatural for the environment that we're in.
Survival.
I don't have survival.
So it's wisdom, which means I believe then you use your own wisdom check. Actually, post your wild shape for me. You might even be able to use your own actual survival. Okay. So what is your survival bonus?
Like my actual character, right?
Yeah.
5.
Okay. So a 9. You're not really seeing anything. Give me a D20. Okay. So far, you're not really sure You're unable so far to find a path that Canopy might have taken.
Okay, can I just like calm my chaos, like sit on a like perch, I guess, up on a branch and just sort of almost like meditate or like try to see if I can hear something that sounds suspicious or like if something is like coming at me or something?
Sure. Perception. At advantage because you're specifically... Wow. Yeah, definitely roll that again. Because you're actively, like, trying to just remain still and cautious.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright, 16. As of right now, you do hear lots of things in the bush. And I mean, like, the whole area around you. There's lots of small creature movement. But, give me one moment here. Okay. In the trees, you can hear some owls not far away. And you can hear the last screeches of the day from some birds of prey. But as for anything getting closer, that you cannot hear. What would you like to do?
Can I don't know. Do we have to stay within the trees?
He didn't specify that, so I guess not. Anything?
I honestly, I don't know what I would do. I don't know how to track. Like, I'm kind of just lost.
Roll me another d20. Okay. Roll me a perception. As you're chilling in the tree, waiting for something to walk by underneath you, small family of mice seem to be scurrying near the bottom of the tree. Doesn't seem like they've seen you, though. What would you like to do?
Can like my like cat like tendencies kick in and then I can just like jump down and try to playfully catch one?
Sure, so you pounce out of the tree. Make an attack. Sorry, I was trying to open the stop block here, and there we go. Yeah, you land, and you get a swipe, and you smack one. Roll me a d20. They begin to scurry in all directions. What would you like to do?
Can I kind of just like, you know, when cats try to catch things with their paws and their paws are just like frantically going everywhere, but like playfully, not like harmfully. Just like a cat playing with a string kind of vibes.
Sure, roll me 2 more attacks. Roll me 2 d20s. You bat 2 more to the side. As you bat the second one, and it hits the tree, it suddenly turns back into canopy. Oh,
Can I quickly notice that it's her and then like pounce and try to hit her with my paw?
as you like leap in, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa! You got me, you got me. It's okay. Game's over. You win.
Okay, like still in my cat form, can I like give like a huge lick, gross slobbery lick up the side of her whole face?
Oh my, it's quite all right. Really didn't need to do that. Just kind of like wipes the slime off her face and flicks it towards the ground. Well, good game. You and I should head back. But Zin and Darwin, you guys are. Zin, you hear the horn. What would you like to do?
So as soon as I hear the sound of the horn, I'm gonna continue to head into the forest, but I'm going to do it with stealth.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna be listening intently and looking around for game while I do that.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I just have to take the dog out.
Yep. So, as you start creeping around, I'd like you to roll me a stealth. Okay, and then a survival. See if you can find something to hunt. Okay, look at you go.
Good start.
You are able to find tracks.
Okay, I will follow those tracks and continue listening, and stealth, of course.
You begin following the tracks. After a few minutes, you're starting to lose them in the darkness. But give me another survival. And give me another stealth as you continue to follow them tracks.
Stop rolling so well.
I mean, you're kind of rocking the shit out of his rolls, so
Yeah, I have a +8 on my stealth, okay?
apparently. Yeah, you follow him, and eventually you begin to hear some kind of like a babbling brook.
Well, as a hunter, I know that usually means prey, so I will continue on that direction, thinking that I am going the right way.
Okay, give me a stealth. You step on a twig. And as you do so, you begin to hear thunderous hooves. First they're on dirt, and then they're on water, and then they're on dirt, getting further away.
Okay, I will continue trying to stealthily follow behind them.
Give me a d20 first.
Okay.
Bro.
Yikes.
You hear a whistle. A lot like a longbow. Unfortunately, you end up hearing a large body hit the ground in some bushes. And the horn blows.
Ah, drats.
So what do you wish to do now that the horn is blown?
Well, I will stand up. And I will walk my way towards where I heard the thud, casually at this point, knowing I've lost.
He, you as you head towards that direction, you see Darwin. This is back to you, kneeling down. He finishes up muttering something, and then immediately sticks the blade into the gut of the deer and begins to field dress it. Ah, I'm so glad you snapped that twig. I didn't have a line of sight on them.
Ah, yes, that was a thing that did happen, unfortunately for myself. But well met, either way.
Yes, was a good game. I'm gonna finish field dressing this, and then I'll bring it back to the camp.
Would you like any assistance? It is quite a large catch for yourself.
By all means. You know how to skin and dress, I take it.
Player DM. I'm assuming I do, but I want to confirm before I.
You're a ranger, yeah. If you
Okay,
didn't,
if
you didn't, bro, there'd be something
conversation.
seriously wrong with your character.
Yeah, I know. We just didn't have the conversation. I had to make sure. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes, of course. And then Zin will come in and grab a leg so that he can get in there easier.
Yeah, give me a survival. At advantage. Not the prettiest work you've ever done, but it suffices. Now, go back to Val. Got some more riddles?
Got some more riddles.
I believe it's your turn, is it not?
I think you're right, yes, sir. My riddle is, I am rarely touched, but often held. And if you are smart, you'll use me well. What am I?
One more time.
I am rarely touched, but often held. And if you are smart, you'll use me well. What am I?
Often touched but never held?
Rarely touched, but often held.
Love?
A tongue.
Damn.
John's got the sneaky ones tonight.
But John can't answer one to save his life.
Passed from father to son and shared between brothers. Its importance is unquestioned, though it is used more by others.
Your name?
Ah. Seems you have some brains in there after all. Maybe you're a little better at this than you think you are. You are leading by 1 point. You gotta win by 2. Once you get your 2 points ahead of them, you win, and it's your turn.
I'm with you. What hears without ears, speaks without a mouth, to which the air alone gives birth?
One more time.
What hears without ears, speaks without a mouth, to which the air alone gives birth?
Wind.
An echo.
Oh. Well, congratulations,
nicely done.
Val. You have won. It's not often I do so poorly on riddles. Did you come up with those yourself?
I used a scrying device called Google.
Well done. Well done. At this point, Ray and Canopy are heading back, and not far behind them is Zin and Darwin. Darwin says, well, it seems that I have won my contest. And how about the rest of you? Canopy and Glancaster both kind of just like smile sheepishly. Ah, so you lost. Well, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. It's not like it's a battle. But I feel like maybe we should share a little meal before we head on our way. What say you?
So, like, I know this guy who's a really good cook, and he's, like, totally hanging out at our camp right now.
You mean Garg? Garg good. Garg good cook.
Exactly.
They kind of look a little wary. We've never had ogre cooking, but if it's not going to kill us, I say we could give it a shot.
We survived.
Well, Garg, it is all yours. Huh, yeah, says Garg. Takes the deer and immediately starts fixing it up. Pulls some stuff out of one of the bags on his rope belt. Begins prepping this thing. And you've never seen an ogre that was able to handle meat so delicately. I mean, there's probably, a few pieces of grass and whatnot on it, but he gets it all put on a gets all the spice rub onto it and kind of makes sure it's ready to go. Ties up the legs so that they're kind of closer to the body. Then he lays it on the ground, and out of another bag he pulls out this 8-foot pole, and he just skewers this deer head to tail. Ties it up on the thing and puts it on the fire to roast.
Can Ray just look at Garg with eyes wide and just be like, "Who taught you to cook?"
Garg teach Garg. Ogre food nasty. Garg like taste. Flavor. Num-nums.
Num-nums indeed.
So while dinner's cooking, did you guys want to talk about anything or maybe do some campfire stories? Anything like that?
Can I attempt to carve another bear?
Sure. You look for another hunk of wood. Give me I'm gonna say a survival check, see if you can find any that are decent enough. Yeah, unfortunately the only fucking wood you find is a lot of it's kind of old and dead, rotten. So unless you're gonna carve a piece out of a tree, unfortunately.
I'll just be a little annoyed and just kick a rock and then go and sit over by the fireplace.
Garg is sitting there turning the spit and sees you come sit back over. Why, cat lady sad?
Can't find any good wood for carving. I need to work on my skills.
He reaches into a pouch. You toss something to your feet. Good wood?
Can I pick it up and take a look at it?
Sure. This is actually a big chunk of wood. It is probably about a foot by a foot. Just a big, perfect square.
Okay, can I carve a piece out of it to use instead of using the whole thing?
So the wood carver's kit does have a small saw. So you could cut a chunk out of it.
Yeah, can I cut a chunk out of it?
Sure.
And then can I ask Garg to hold on to the rest of it for me because it won't fit in my bag?
Garghold. And he continues to turn the spit on the fire. You can do a woodcarver check if you'd like.
I don't have the wood carving ability.
Dexterity. As you were trying to craft this, you managed to keep breaking pieces off of it. Unfortunately, this doesn't even look like a bear. It just looks like a blob of wood.
Can I just be like super annoyed and frustrated and just like throw it into the fire and kind of throw a little bit of a and then just sit by the fire with a scowl on my face and just cross my legs and talk to no one?
Sure. You, the other two of you, along with your 3 compatriots and Garg, all watch Ray huck this piece of wood into the fireplace. What are the rest of you doing?
Zin holds back a bit of a chuckle at Ray's annoyance. And he has Yukina kind of curled up on his lap as he sits cross-legged, and Yukina's excitedly eating some of the meat because that is her favorite. And Zin kind of pets her head a little bit as he just like kind of makes small talk with the group.
Okay. Val?
I'll compare spells with their mage, see if there's any way for us to swap spells.
Okay.
If there is.
What are you looking for?
Anything.
You got enough money to copy one down?
I do.
All right. Give me... Is there 5 spells in particular that you're looking for?
Not even that. Just any knowledge for the sake of knowledge. I'm sorry to make it harder.
Yeah, sure did. Son of a bitch. Let's go with... You find an interesting 2nd level spell. In fact, you find 2, but you're only going to have time to copy one of them down.
Intriguing.
You find Misty Step and Mirror Image.
I'll go for mirror image.
Okay. So, just remove the proper amount of gold. And you can drag the mirror image spell into your book. About this time, you hear Grog clap his hands. Good food. Ready. And same thing he did the night before. He kind of just starts ripping off legs and whatnot. And he kind of... he does this time take a knife. As, you know, everybody else pulls out their plates. He kind of takes a knife and just shears down the bone one half the meat falls off onto one person's plate, which is far too much meat for a plate, and just kind of like spills everywhere. But I mean, everybody ends up getting a full plate of venison. The three newcomers watch him dish all this out, and they look at all the meat on the ground. And Guard catches them seeing that, or noticing that. That's okay. That's Guard's food. Flavor. Extra flavor. Num num. As everybody eats their venison, it is absolutely delicious. This is something you'd expect to be cooked in, like, an inn for, like, wealthy merchants and nobles. It melts in your mouth, and the flavor is amazing. The knights say...
Ray.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like as Ray's eating, even though she's like super annoyed that her carving didn't turn out, she made like a comment to Garg being like, "You should be a chef."
Maybe one day. Garg do good first. Then restaurant. Tavern. Garg look for place with people. He kind of
That would
seems a
be a
little sad.
tavern I would frequent.
It makes him smile. Thanks, pretty cat lady. The knights say, so, would you mind if we set up our own camp here, or would you prefer if we wander away a little ways?
Zin looks to Val. What do you say? Can they camp with us tonight?
So far, they've been perfectly civil. I see no reason not to.
I agree. You're all welcome, even though Darwin did beat me, and I'm a little burnt about that. I guess I could still let you stay close to us tonight.
Excellent. Glancaster? Yes, of course. He casts a spell. And suddenly there is a doorway next to the camp. Well, you're all welcome to stay in here instead of the cold hard ground if you wish. And they open this door. And on the other, you can't see anything around the door, but when the door is opened, on the inside you see an extraordinary sight. Beautiful foyer, the massive staircase, red and gold hang along the walls with tapestries and curtains, paintings, and inside there seems to be several people waiting for them. Well, are you coming?
Can I see if Garg is able to fit through this?
Garg could fit through this door.
Okay, it's a very big door then.
I mean, he's gonna have to crawl, but he'll fit. So we'll say they're double doors.
Okay, yeah. So that is quite impressive, I might say. That is quite kind of you. I would be happy to take you up on that offer. It'd be nice to have a nice warm space to be. What do you say, Val and Ray?
For a penny and for a pound, let's trust them. I'll walk through.
Okay. And Ray?
Ray just goes over to Garg, and
Garg.
grabs his finger to see if he wants to, if he's comfortable going.
Garg, stay outside. Garg like stars.
Ray will stay outside with Garg the night.
Okay.
Friends don't leave friends behind.
Valen's in. You guys gonna continue in?
Not after that.
And now I feel like an asshole.
No, go. It's fine.
Let's stay outside.
Yeah, we'll stay outside. We'll just we'll politely.
If you guys want to go. Like, that's fine. We'll stay out here. So I just will keep Garg company so he's not lonely. You guys can go and have a warm meal. I'm comfortable being outside.
Getting yelled at over here.
So
I'll still stay outside. I don't want to split the party.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we'll just politely decline then.
well,
Um,
well, suit yourselves. Never slept on beds like these before, I promise you that. But have a good night. They shut the double doors, and the double doors stay there. But Garg lays back on the grass, staring up at the stars. That one. Garg favorite. You see one that seems to be shining brighter than the others.
Can Ray, like, go close to him and lie down on the grass as well? And point at it and be like, that one? And then say that's... Would I know that it's the North Star?
It is not the North Star. Different world.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Can I just, like, look at the sky and be like, that one?
Yeah. Garg family watches. That Garg family. Seems to be a little sad.
Can I just, like, extend my hand and just, like, put it on whatever part of his arm is closest to me?
Yeah, you can take up about 1/100th of his forearm, sure.
Perfect.
Gargmiss family.
Maybe they're watching over you and protecting you.
You get about
So it's
halfway
like
through
they're-
that sentence before he's snoring.
Awesome.
It's very loud. In fact, in the first 2 hours, I would like you all to roll me a con save. $18, 14. I need raise con save. And 11. You guys don't know how you do it, but eventually you are able to sleep. Belly's full of 2 different venison meals today. Might be the culprit, but you guys are able to sleep through his snoring. However, everybody, I want you to type in your passive perceptions into the chat. It will be underneath your skill checks. It says passive perception, and there's a number next to it. Zin, while you are in your reverie, something snaps you out of it. Sounds like the biggest wolf you've ever heard in your life. You feel like it is quite a distance off. But that was still really loud.
Interesting. I don't sense anything else.
Nope.
And I'll kind of like settle down, keep an eye out for a little bit before I decide to go back off to my meditation or reverie.
The end of the night comes. Sun starts to rise. As you rise out of your reverie, Garg rolls over with his back to Ray and lets out a fucking ripper.
No!
Ouch.
The hot air wakes Ray.
Can I just like wake up like really abruptly with like my eyes are burning and I'm coughing and then I can just like climb a tree to get some breath air like I'm gasping?
Yeah. You like rushing away from Garg wakes him up. Oh. Morning. Where'd Cat Lady go?
I don't want to alarm you, Garg, but I believe she's in the tree over there.
Oh. Oh no. Garg fart?
Maybe just a little. Garg.
Garg, sorry, Ray. Oh, and he starts waving his hand from his face. Oh, morning worst.
I'm just like in a tree. You know how like cats dry heave? That's what I'm doing.
Thinking forward to us all taking a long rest on the bench, wondering how this is going to play out.
Oh God.
Long rest in a dungeon. I mean, that's not going to be good to start with.
Good point.
But at this point, Val, you're starting to wake up as well. The double doors open and the three men step out, or the two men and one woman all step out. Well, there's breakfast in here. Anything you could ever dream of.
Thank you for your kind hospitality, but Garg's venison is delicious.
Oh, that venison's gone.
Wow.
Oh yeah, dude, he's an ogre. Whatever you guys didn't eat, there's 6 of you and him. Yeah, damn right. He's gonna swallow back the rest of it.
And like through the coughing and gagging, can Ray ask if there's a shower?
I don't know what a shower is, but there's a wash tub in every room.
Wash tub. Can I use it?
Yeah, of course. That spell lasts for 24 hours, so it'll disappear when the 24 hours is up. So by all means, until then, feel free to use it. He keeps the door open and he hollers into the servants. He says, "These are our friends. Get them anything they want." But we must be off. They saddle up their horses and say, "It's nice to meet you all. Hopefully we'll see you again."
Safe travels.
Nice to meet you as well. And thank you for the entertainment for the evening, as well as your hospitality this morning.
Darwin nods, Canopy nods, Glancaster nods. And then with that, they take off.
Okay, Ray just like
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, as like they're leaving, Ray would just like scurry down the tree and just like get to the tub as fast as possible.
Sure, you make it in right before Garg scratches his belly, yawns. "Garg hungry." And he starts trying to crawl in through the door. He makes it in. The interior is not overly made for ogres, though. However, you do notice that his footsteps don't seem to be causing any damage.
Interesting.
Inside there is a kind of a like a dining room. A big table set up, several chairs. And as you guys walk in, there is many empty platters on this table. But they're clean. Ray, you walk in to find a bathtub, but it is empty.
Where's the water at?
As you say this, it begins filling with warm, bubbly water.
Okay, a cat could get used to this.
Val and Xana, I'm guessing you guys are going for breakfast.
Oh yeah, at this point, I'm in.
Yes, sir.
Garg also wanders in. He gets to the head of the table and he looks at the chair and he pulls it out with like a thumb and a forefinger. He looks at the chair and he shakes his head and he just moves it off to the side and sits on the ground. But there's no food yet. What are you guys thinking about right now?
Well, Zin is probably thinking of a nice piece of buttered toast and some jam would be really good right about now.
It appears on your plate in front of you.
Hell yeah. Zin, not about to question this, as he is very excited for this. He grabs the toast and puts it to his mouth and takes a bite.
The richest, creamy peanut butter. The sweetest, freshest jam. And definitely the freshest piece of bread you've ever had in your life.
Zin smiles. Val, think of a food.
Is it better than the 1 gold per meal?
Yeah. Val?
We'll think of steak and eggs.
On your plate appears a nice, juicy T-bone steak. 2 eggs. A side of toast.
Plow into it just face first.
You've never had a steak melt in your mouth like this before. It's definitely the best steak you've ever had. Grog. Garg. Sorry. Got me doing it right.
Sorry.
Garg's like, where food come from? I Garg want. Rabbit and berries. And he just starts going, and this table suddenly gets filled with like every kind of fruit and like small game, some chickens, everything you can think of. French toast. Well, I guess, I don't know, let's call it eggy toast, I guess. And everything tastes amazing. Ray, you've been upstairs. You did your scrubbing. You know, feeling a little more cleanly. As you're finishing up, what would you like to do?
Can I, after like feeling so relaxed and not smelling like stench anymore, get out of the tub and kind of as I'm dressed, but just drying off my hair, I guess, I go downstairs or go to where the boys are and meet them for food?
Yeah, as you enter the room, you see Val mowing down on some steak and eggs, and Zin has finished his peanut butter and jam toast. I'm sure he's reaching for some other things off this table. And Grog is just sitting there filling his face, like straight handfuls. And as he notices you come into the room, he slows down and looks a little sheepish. Garg, sorry, Ray.
I just like shake it off, no worries. What are you guys eating?
Everything! And he says this, and like he kind of spews out a little bit of the berries in his mouth, and he smiles at you, and all you can see in his teeth is just like stained blue from the blueberries and blackberries, and you know, there's like a chunk of meat hanging out the corner of his mouth. You think, and it appears. Garg's so happy.
Can Ray just like giggle to herself and then just like pull up a chair, and she thinks of a warm bowl of oats with fresh fruit and milk, of course, the milk.
And it appears before you.
I just like look at it as like amazed and then just start eating.
Okay. So it is amazingly delicious. But you guys have basically finished your meal at this point. What would you like to do? It's probably about 7, 8 in the morning now. Did you guys want to take some time to prep your spells and whatnot before you head off? Sorry, John, you're like super quiet.
Oh, sorry about that. Better?
Yep.
Excellent call. Yes, I'd like to prepare spells before I go wandering out into the world and get smushed.
Alright. Ray, do you have your spells prepped?
Yeah.
Alright. So that takes about an hour. So it's about 9 in the morning. You guys are ready to head out. Now, you guys are, like, down here. You guys get most of the way to Thunder Tree by the evening. Now, it is up to you on whether you want to do some more random encounters or if you just want to kind of skip the day.
Can we do some more random encounters?
Sure. Let me just change the calendar a day so I don't forget, since the person who normally does it is not here. Alright. Well, I believe we started with Val yesterday, right?
I believe so. Or, yeah.
Alright. Val, give me a D100. $69.
Roll again.
Yep. As you guys are walking through this field, Val, you see something shining in the tall grass.
Pointed out to the others. Is it big? Is it small?
It's small.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's walk over and look at it.
Seems to be a small copper coin with odd markings you don't recognize on both sides. It's extremely shiny.
During a trap, I'll still pick it up and handle it and see what happens.
Cool. I don't know what happens yet. Give me a second.
Okay, cool.
Okay. As you look at this coin, give me an Arcana check. Something magical about it.
Hey guys, do we have time to identify this? Something's magical, I'm just not sure what. And I don't know if we want it with us or if we want to throw it as far away as we can.
Check it out.
Cool. Thank you.
Takes you 11 minutes to do it as a ritual, so you don't burn your spell slot. And you realize that this is a lucky coin, which you can drag over from the compendium.
Woo.
See what it is?
Interesting.
Alright. I think with that, though, we are going to take our 10-minute break, because I've got to piss like a racehorse.
Totally.
You betcha.
Cool.
All right, how we doing? We all here? I know it's a little early, but if everybody's here, we can get started.
I'm back.
All right, sounds like they're not then. Actually, you know what? I could use refill on the water. Alright, I am back again.
Welcome back.
You and Snow ready?
Yep, we're ready.
Alright.
Before we get too far, I'm gonna hand the coin to Zen and say, I think since you're a walk of point, this would do more good with you right now, if that's cool with you.
That is quite kind of you. I would gladly take the lucky coin.
Alright. So Zen now has the lucky coin.
Yeah, I'll put it on my character. Yeah, thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
So Ray, D100 please. Did you guys continue walking for a few more hours? Ahead of you is a giant bullfrog just sitting on a rock. This sucker's about the size of Garg.
He's just chilling. He's not like looking mean or anything.
He looks like a frog. Just a really big frog. Garg says, "Maybe frog need help. We do good?"
Sure, we can do good. Can I like approach the frog like slowly and curiously?
Sure. As you start getting close to this massive bullfrog, it kind of hops on its rock, but it turns directly towards you, and it's just looking straight down at you. Rabbit. Rabbit.
Oh,
It just continues to stare at you. How
can I ask it if it needs help?
Sure. How close are you getting to it?
Just like close enough for it to hear me, but not so close that it could eat me.
Give me a distance.
Like 30 feet.
30 feet. Roll me a dexterity save. As its tongue lashes out and stretches 30 feet. The tongue grips you. Give me a strength save to not be pulled off your feet. You plant your feet in, and this thing is tugging at you. But you're not letting go. He's still tugging.
Can I level 2 magic missile on the frog's face at this point?
Sure. Roll your damage.
Sorry, I should have my spells better. I'm working on memorizing them. Should be 44, right?
No, you just click on the, should be in your attack section on your main page.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
Then you just click on that 4 times. As these magic missiles slam into its face, Ray is released from the large frog's tongue. And suddenly, raven-like wings sprout from this thing's back, and it starts to leave. Starts flying out over top of the forest. Does anybody want to do anything before it's out of range? Or out of sight?
No.
Nope.
I'm just shaking the slime off my body and like, cringing with grossness.
Whatever that thing is can get the hell out of here with its giant wings coming out of a frog.
I'm going to start taking notes on it, crack open my journal, and
Sure.
try and... Can I roll Arcana to see what I might know about this? Or would that be nature?
I would say you could do either one. They're going to give you different results, though.
Gotcha, I'll try Arcana. And I know nothing.
Yeah. Nothing's really coming to you other than you've never seen a creature like this before, and you feel like it might have been created through magic. Probably a spell gone wrong.
Yeah, I'll note it in my book and move on.
I just forgot to do notes, so give me one moment. I'm just typing all this shit in. Alright, I believe Zin is the last one.
Send it.
You all feel the ground begin to rumble underneath you.
It's rumbling time.
Sorry, I had to.
They call you savage for a
Alright, so yeah, the ground beneath you begins to rumble. What do you guys want to do?
I want to try to jump out of the way. Like it's a rumbling as if something's coming up, not like a rumbling as if something's coming our direction, right?
Give me a survival to try and figure that out. It doesn't feel like a stampede.
I will try to jump out of the way, and we'll do the yell at everyone to move.
Everybody can make a dex save at advantage.
Woo!
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
Val and Zin. Zin, you were a little slower due to your warning of everybody before you tried to jump. Val, the warning for you came too late. Ray, with her cat-like reflexes, leaps out of the way. As holes all over this small area begin to form in the ground. I would like Zin and Val to make another dex save, not at advantage this time. Val, you begin falling into one of these holes. Zin, you barely catch a hold of the side of this hole. You're hanging on. Ray, you're off to the side. You did kind of like a little jump and a roll to get out of the way. Came back to your feet. And you are noticing your allies are not to be... You can't see them.
Can I yell to Garg to see if he can see where they are, because he's taller than me?
That's right, I forgot about Garg. Hold on a second.
But yeah, he has to roll a dex save too, right? Or the hole's not big enough to capture him.
Give me a sec, I'm trying to find a decent stat block for him, because I put in Ogre, and apparently I came up with like 30 fucking stat blocks. So, give me a second here.
Every ogre under the sun.
And of course, stat blocks wouldn't take forever to fucking load, right? No, I don't want one with that many hit points. Garg is able to leap out of the way as well. Where Val? Where's Zin? He says to you, Ray.
Tell him that I can't see them, that I lost them when I jumped out of the way.
He starts running around, dodging all these holes in the ground that are forming as the ground continues to rumble. Val, as you begin to drop, you only drop about 10 feet. So, are you doing anything as you fall?
Trying to fly?
Do you, I'm guessing you don't have the fly spell?
No, but I have wings.
Right! I forgot, you have wings. As you begin to fall, you bring out your wings and you start flapping. You're able to raise yourself back to the surface that is still rumbling. You see Garg looking around frantically, and he notes you. He's like, "Find Zin! No, find Zin!" Ray, what are you doing?
I'm trying to find Zin so I could potentially, like, throw him a rope.
Okay, and Val, what are you doing as you fly out of this
Searching
hole?
frantically for Zin. Flying
Alright.
hither and yon.
Alright, so you can all roll me the two of you can roll me perception. And Zin, you can hear them calling out, trying to find you.
Yeah, didn't I make the save on the last one?
Yeah, you held on to the edge.
Oh yeah, so I'm holding onto the edge right now. Got it.
Valorant doesn't see you. Garg doesn't see you. But Ray, you catch a glimpse of some dark fingers holding on to the edge of one of these holes.
Can I point to where they are and scream to everyone else, "He's right there"?
Garg charges over. And he straddles the hole that you are on the verge of falling into, Zin. He reaches down. You can smell his undercarriage. It is horrendous. Boy has not had a bath in eons. But he reaches down and he picks you up by the back of your shirt. And he doesn't put you down, though. He holds you. Guard carry! Go! Go now! And he just starts charging to the north. You're in his fist as he's running. Probably getting a little motion sick.
Yeah.
As for the two of you that are not held in Garg's arms, what are you doing?
Facing with them or running with them?
Flying along with the pack.
Alright. Garg stumbles a couple times in a couple of these holes, but he doesn't fall, he doesn't drop you. But it's getting close. Zin, would you like to help guide him?
Yeah.
All right. Give me perception check. Yeah, you see a hole coming up. Looks like he's going to step into it.
Let's see. I tell him there's a hole just up ahead, right there, and I point to it.
He jumps. And he lands on the other side of it. Ha! Good watching. Let's go. And then he just continues. Give me another one.
I'm gonna use my lucky coin
All right.
because this counts as an ability, right?
It does.
So I just add 1 to whatever I roll, right?
Yep. You don't see it.
Nope.
He sees it just in time, though, as
Oh,
he's about to put his foot down, and he skips over it. It takes you guys about 10 minutes of doing this before it seems like you might be in a safe zone. As you look back, the last, 2 miles is just dust floating up into the air. Holes all over the place. But you guys are now safe.
What was that?
No idea what that was.
Can I? Is there? I assume there's still holes nearby us.
There is.
Can I walk up carefully to a hole and try to peer in to see if I can see anything?
Sure. As you get close to the hole, kind of get on your belly and kind of lay over and just put your head over the hole. You lose your head. I'm just kidding.
Oh fuck. Oh, I was like, oh shit.
Let's go with perception at disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
If I use the ability check thing, does it add it to both?
What do you mean?
My lucky coin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use it then.
All right. Make sure you mark down how many times you're using it, because it.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta-
made a thing. Yeah,
Perfect.
I checked all the rules and stuff.
All right.
So
Gold.
I'm 4 out of 6 left.
All right. Okay.
Let's go. So 20 and 26.
You can't see exactly what it is, but it seems like deep in this hole, the sun might be reflecting off something's eyes. Hundreds of eyes. Big eyes.
What the fuck? Hundreds of eyes, big eyes. I'll kind of like crawl back out like away from the hole, and I'll sneak back over to the group to let them know that I just saw like hundreds of giant eyes staring back at me, and I have no clue what this thing is. Or wait, would I have any knowledge of what this thing might be?
Give me a nature at disadvantage. Just because all you saw was eyes, right?
Yeah, giant eyes.
15. You're not 100% sure, but you think you might have spotted a horde of spiders.
Horde?
Very large spiders.
I'm not sure what it is, but there might be a giant horde of spiders in that hole.
Garg pulls out his sword. Garg no scare spiders.
Are hundreds of spiders bad? Too many spiders.
Bah! Garg walks over towards the hole, and he peers down with his sword in his hand and lets out a roar. All of a sudden, a massive string of web comes flying up and grabs a hold of Garg and begins trying to pull him into the hole. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna try to run up to Garg and try to help pull it, keep him out of the hole. Well, is he like, he's not, they're trying to pull him in. He hasn't been pulled in, right?
Yeah, no, he hasn't been pulled in yet. He's standing on the edge, but they're starting to pull him in. He's covered in web, and they're kind of using it as a net.
Okay, I'm going to run up with bow in hand and start firing towards where I think the starting of the web is.
Sure. Give me attack at disadvantage.
Oh, I just rolled the actual attack, sorry.
No, you rolled the damage. Gotta roll. Yeah, there you go. You hear a screech, and they begin pulling harder.
Can I target the web with magic missile?
You want to target the web with magic missile.
Yeah, try and sever the link between whatever it is that's dragging in the hole and Garg.
Okay. Can you post magic missile for me? I need to read that real quick.
Yeah. Ah, never mind. A creature of your choice.
So, you do have something else, though, that could probably help. It's not even a spell. It's a cantrip.
Firebolt?
Give me a nature. Web is flammable as fuck.
Nice. So let's go with, how far is Garg from the web?
Like it's attached to him.
I'm sorry, how far is he from the hole? Sorry.
He's like on the edge of the hole. He made his strength save, so it hasn't pulled him in yet, but it's getting there. Actually, post Firebolt for me real quick too. Yeah, okay, creature or object. That's what I thought. I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, I'll aim for Firebolt and hope that's accurate enough to do it.
Sure. Roll me an attack. Quickly, the web begins to burn. And the horrified look on Garg's face turns even more horrified as he starts to fall backwards away from the hole. He brushes the burning web off him. Ah! 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 Garg now scared of spiders! Garg, go now! You come with? And he doesn't even wait for an answer. He starts fucking bolting.
Guard, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I guess I start booking it with Garg.
Alright. So y'all get a few more miles away. You guys get up to about here before nightfall. So right now you guys are about 5 miles from Thunder Tree. Or the area you believe it to be, anyways. The area is overgrown. So at this point, especially it being dusk, you can't really see the ruins, but you believe they're, about 5 miles away to the north. So, did you guys set up camp? Do you guys wish to do any campfire story stuff? Try and get yourself some inspiration points for, for tomorrow?
No, I think I'm good. Because mine's maxed out, so.
Gonna work on preparing.
Can I? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead. You're good.
I was just gonna say, can I ask Garg for a chunk of that log so I can try a carving again?
Okay, cat lady. Reaches in, pulls out the wood and tosses it. You want to saw yourself off a chunk?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'll saw myself off a chunk and see if I can make another bear.
Sure. Dexterity check. This one's not nearly as bad as the last one. It's definitely takes some better form. You get the legs done all right, the body. I have a little problem with the eyes. Can't seem to get the eyes right. And you kind of broke off one of the teeth when you were doing the mouth. But for the most part, it looks pretty decent.
Okay, sweet. I'm super happy with this. And I kind of toss it up in the air and then catch it and then put it in my pouch. I'm gonna save it for when Ren is back.
Okay. Now, I actually need to look up something on Ren's sheet real quick. Okay. So as you guys are resting throughout the night, you guys want to do a watch order, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, we can do a watch order. I can take the awkward times because I only sleep half the time as everybody else, so.
I'll take first watch if it's okay.
Yep. And then maybe Ray, you can take last watch then, because the middle will be the awkwardest part for everybody.
Sure.
Alright, so everybody buckles down. Nobody want to do no campfire stories, nothing? For some inspiration points?
I'm not a very good storyteller.
Should look up some ghost stories or some shit.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll do that for our next session, I think.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be like, personal. It doesn't even have to be a true story. It can be anything, as long as it's decent.
Okay.
Just gotta find a good story. You can even just straight up read it off of whatever it is, that you're reading. But make it, kind of fit the world, Like, if you want to do the Hookman story or whatever, obviously it's not going to be on the side of a car. It'd be on the side of a cart or something. Something like that. But yeah. So, you guys all settle in. Val, you take first watch. Give me a perception. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. But you do hear a very loud howl.
Can I tell how far away it is? Ballpark?
It is... Give me... nature or survival. Not a clue.
Cool. I'll just keep my head on a swivel and try and pay close attention to my surroundings for any sudden changes.
All right. You hear another howl as you're about to go wake up Zin. Or
Closer?
yeah, if you're doing Zin or the other one.
I think it'd be Zen. Closer or farther?
It seems to be louder.
I'll wake up Zen and I'll stay up with him for the watch.
Okay. Zin, you awake to Valoran waking you up.
Hey, I just heard this howling for the second time and it sounds like it's getting closer, so just a heads up.
Thank you for the heads up. I will keep my ears open and my eyes peeled. It may just be a wild animal in the nearby forest.
I trust your experience as a ranger. I know next to nothing about nature.
Fair enough. I will warn you if I hear of any more howling.
Thank you.
Zin. Is there anything in particular you wish to do during your watch? Should have asked all that too. My bad.
Nope, just maybe I'm paying a lot of attention, but maybe I'm kind of talking quietly with Yukina a little bit, because we have some one-on-one time. Just idle chatter type stuff. Maybe asking Yukina about themselves and where they're from and all that stuff.
Sure. I mean, you want to roleplay that out? Pretty sure she can speak Draconic, as you can too, I believe.
Yeah, no, I can. No, it's just more like idle chatter while I wait the time. Nothing crazy RP wise.
All right. The wind suddenly picks up. And the trees, you can hear them rustling, even though you guys are probably, let's see, I said you're about here, so about 2.5 miles away. That's how loud it's getting. The tall grass around you is starting to waver in the wind. Looks like waves on an ocean almost. You hear another howl.
Can I tell the distance?
Nature or survival?
Whoops, sorry.
You're not really sure, but you think it's still a little ways away at least.
Okay.
Probably at least, another mile or two, minimum. Maybe further. That roll, you're not 100% sure.
Right. Okay, I'm just gonna stay alert then. Keep scanning the area.
The wind gets even stronger.
Oh, wow.
A crack of thunder and lightning spread across the sky, lighting everything up. And immediately it begins to downpour. Everything is soaked in a matter of seconds. The fire is almost completely put out. Another howl is heard. But much of it is drowned out by the wind and the rain and the thunder. But your watch is coming to an end. Who would you like to wake up?
Well, it's Ray's turn. I will wake her. I mean, I guess we have tents, so they're in a tent, right?
Yeah. Except for
Okay, so
Garg.
they're not-
Garg is,
he's getting fucking soaked out there.
Yeah.
He's having a grand old time.
he's snoring.
You could
yeah.
use a bath.
That's true.
His snore is turning into gargles almost.
Oh god. Yeah. So I'll go wake up Ray. As I'll gently touch her on the shoulder to wake her up.
Ray,
When-
you awake to a soaking wet Zin, kind of knelt down beside you.
I like slowly open my eyes and then ask him, why are you soaked?
There seems to be just a wee bit of a storm over us right now. We have quite the downpour going on here. We also keep hearing this howling throughout the night. It does appear to be a little ways off, but I'm not quite sure how close it is.
It's pouring rain, and there's a growling beast in the distance, and we're still here?
You think we should leave in the middle of the night in a pouring rain with thunder? What time is it right now, Savage?
At this point, it's probably
6
getting
hours in.
No, you guys are 4 hours in.
I do a double watch though. Remember?
Oh, you're doing. I figured you'd wake Garg up.
Oh no! I was thinking I would just do a double watch on mine because I only need 4 hours of sleep.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All right. So yeah, it's been about 6.
So maybe I should have clarified that beforehand. It'd still be pretty dark though right now, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like maybe 4 in the morning if we're lucky.
It's probably closer to like 2.
Yeah. So it's in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's somewhere between 2 and 3. Because I figure the sun probably rise around like 5:30ish, right?
Yeah, we're travelers. We work on an augmented schedule too, right? So.
Okay, so I will rummage through my stuff and grab the closest thing to a raincoat that I have, and reluctantly trudge out into the rain and snow and try to find the driest spot in a tree to take watch. But my arms are folded. I'm a bit sleepy and a little grumpy that it's raining.
So, what do you have in your bag that would constitute something like a raincoat?
Probably just like my cloak, I guess.
All right. So, it's still material.
Oh, wait, I have a hunting tarp.
You're gonna set up
No,
your hunting.
I read it wrong. It's a trap. It's a trap.
All right. Yeah. So you wrap your cloak around you. I mean, it's a little more water resistant than most of your clothes, but eventually it still gets soaked. But as this storm continues, you see Garg kind of wake up, choking on the water that's filling his mouth. He kind of like swallows what he's got in his mouth. He looks around, looks straight up, kind of closes his eyes for a moment, and he kind of raises one arm and rubs his armpit. You know, raises the other arm, rubs that armpit. You know, make sure the water's getting in there. And he comes over and he sits next to you. Ah, bath. I feel I might have needed one of those. Oh wow, I said that wrong. Garg feels bath good. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. So, cat lady, how watch go?
So far, uneventful, and I'm soaked and tired.
He says, ah. He kind of like leans back in the grass, and then he kind of like puts his arm behind you with his elbow in the dirt, and he puts a hand over the top of you, like not touching you, but like kind of trying to give you some shelter. It kind of works. It's not great, but you're also not getting pelted nearly as hard. He says, arm get tired. You go sleep. Guard take watch.
Can I just like curl up in the driest spot there is under this hand umbrella and just be like, okay, and then just curl into a little ball and try to fall asleep?
Give me an insight check real quick. So he mentioned his hand was getting, or his arm was getting tired. So you kind of feel like he was suggesting you go back to the tent and sleep. But if you want to sleep there, you can.
No, I'll go back to my tent. I just give him like a little pat on like the side and like say, thank you, friend. I owe you one. And then like sleepishly walk back to my tent.
As you get into your tent, you hear a howl.
Can I tell how far away it is?
Give me a nature or survival. It's not far. Maybe a mile and a half. And you're pretty sure that that is your... that you're pretty accurate with that range. Do you want to do anything with that information?
Oh yeah, that's a little close. Can I wake up Val, since he went to sleep the first, like the first person to go to sleep, and just like let him know that this wolf thing, whatever's howling, is getting really close?
Val?
Still dark out? Is it still raining?
It is still dark out, and yes, it is still pissing.
Well, stay awake as well. Keep an eye towards the area that I hear which way did you hear the howling coming
It was the east. Same direction you all heard it from.
from? Okay, so then I'll keep an eye out towards the east. Hopefully the sun gets here before whatever else is out there gets here.
So, a heads up. You've only been sleeping for about 5 hours. So if you stay up to see if this thing's coming, you're not going to get your full rest.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Still need to do it.
Yeah, you're going to risk it?
Gonna risk it.
Alright, so what are you doing then?
Staying up, facing east, trying to keep an eye out for what's coming this way.
Okay. I need to read something real quick. Okay. I think shit's about to get a little dark. Alright, so the evening is almost over, but the rain is still pouring. As you look out to the east, I'm guessing you're like sitting in your tent looking to the east?
Yeah.
Alright. You hear Garg stand up. And he kind of... You hear footsteps. His footsteps. I should be more specific.
Step out of my tent to see what's going on.
He seems to have his sword drawn. He's looking to the east. But until you stuck your head out, you couldn't actually see where he was. But now it looks like he's creeping very slowly towards the edge of the forest. The forest is still quite a ways off. You know, like roughly 2.5 clicks. But he's stepping in that direction.
Garg, where are you going?
Garg maybe see something.
What Garg see?
Eyes.
I'll go with you, Garg. I'll bump Ray before I go and say, hey, Garg, see something in the tree line, I'm gonna go with him. Just a heads up.
Okay. As you traipse through the now soaking wet ground, long grass, you are drenched. Garg keeps his gaze straight ahead, but you can see him kind of shifting his eyes side to side a bit. How Val's eye in dark?
Very good, Garg.
I only see so far. Excuse me. Garg only sees so far. Lightning cracks across the sky. Give me perception. For a moment, you think you see a silhouette dashing through the field.
Not quite sure what I'm budgeting.
In the darkness. You're pretty sure you see something, like a large silhouette dash very quickly through the field to one side of you. But as you turn your head to look, and the lightning is gone, you don't see anything again.
Garg, keep an eye out. I saw a silhouette, and I point in the general direction of the silhouette. Not sure what it was. Looked like a figure. Looked like person, maybe.
Okay. And you still see him, like, slowly moving forward. He doesn't have the clumsiness you would have probably heard of most ogres having. He seems to be holding his sword with a deft preparedness. His steps are slow and... what the fuck's the word I'm looking for? I need to get myself a goddamn thesaurus.
Purpose.
Yes, thank you. I'm like, meaningfulness. No, that's not right. Like, yes, with purpose. And every few steps, he kind of switches sides so that his other foot is leading, so he can peer in the opposite direction. Changes up every 2 or 3 steps. Another lightning cracks. Give me a perception. Same thing as before. A dash of a silhouette. Just vanishes as the lightning disappears from the sky.
Yeah, I'm going to take to the sky at this point, head up about 20, 25 feet.
You're gonna head up to the sky?
The sky.
Okay. Flying creature in a lightning storm. Okay.
What could possibly
As you fly up. Lightning strikes. Again. Roll me a d20. See if you're really lucky or unlucky.
1 to 9.
It doesn't hit you. But it's not far from you either.
Second on, let's go back to the ground.
However, with this lightning strike, Give me another perception. Directly behind Garg's back, there stands this massive creature, heaving its chest with every breath. What do you want to do?
What's the creature doing?
Right now, this creature looks like a massive humanoid wolf. And it's just walking up to Garg from behind him.
Garg, behind you, look.
Garg spins. Makes 3 attacks. Give me 1 second. I just gotta take a look. 10 plus con and dex. That's... yeah. Okay. He brings this sword down on this creature, and the creature screams and howls like nothing you've ever heard before. It's loud enough it wakes up the others at the camp. The creature turns and begins to try to run away. Val, what would you like to do?
Is it running away?
It's beginning to run away.
Let it go. No point in killing something that's not engaging you.
Garg doesn't see it that way.
I didn't think you would.
Garg charges after it.
Garg, let it go. Garg, now listen.
Just before the thing leaves your vision, it looks like it stumbled and hit the ground. And you see Garg stop chasing. Horned one! Garg got it! Garg do good?
We'll see, Garg. Let me walk over and look at the creature.
Lightning cracks again, lighting up the area. Just as you get there, before you can see what's laying on the ground, Garg drop his sword. No! No! Garg no do good! Garg do bad! Laying on the ground in front of him. Actually, what happens when they get knocked out? Give me 1 moment. Laying before Garg is Ren's form, unconscious and bleeding in the grass.
I use my medical skill to try and staunch the bleeding and stabilize Ren.
Sure. Medicine check. You're trying, but it's not going well. Garg puts his sword in his rope belt. He picks up Ren's unconscious body and starts running back to camp.
Run like the wind, Garg.
He comes running back into camp, trips over a bunch of shit, doesn't fall, but, you know, camp supplies are fucking everywhere. And Zin and Ray, you both hear this.
Can I come running over to see what all the commotion is about?
Yes, you
And
can.
I will follow on along.
Garg seems to be like spinning in circles, looking for something, anything, and he sees you come out. Garg, too bad. Garg, sorry. Help Ren. And as he stretches out his arms, you see Ren's unconscious body in his arms, blood stemming down his forearms.
Can I just like try to? Oh, sorry. You go.
Garg thought monster. Garg not know Ren. And he kind of gently, like, slowly puts her down on the ground before you guys. And he's, like, trying to stop the bleeding, but with his hands and fingers, he's much too large to, like, you know, put pressure on a wound and not snap it.
Okay, so did I see all of this, like the stuff that like I saw the werewolf form or the creature
No.
before?
The only person who has seen it, that this was a werewolf before or something of that akin, was Garg and Val.
Okay, can I just ask, like, try to calm down Garg and like keep the situation calm, but like ask what happened? How did this happen?
Monster come on Garg. Val said behind Garg. Garg turn and swing. Then monster try run. Garg chase. Garg thought do good. But Ren.
Okay, so Ray's just a little confused about all the missing pieces, but understands that time is of the essence. Can I use Cure Wound on Ren?
Sure. Give me a roll. You stem her bleeding with that, and although the wounds aren't really closed, they are they've stopped bleeding. They've begun to clot and whatnot.
Can I use what's a mess kit?
Like that's your plate, your cup, fork.
Okay, can I try to use Cure Wounds again?
Sure. Yeah, so some more of her wounds heal up. And you begin to see Ren open her eyes. And as she sees all of you looking down at her, she begins to scramble backwards. No, you can't be near. And let me do one more of these. Yeah, no, that's a hard fucking fail. Suddenly, her body begins to change and morph. Her face gets elongated. Fur starts bursting out from all over the place. Her hands become much larger, and the fingers grow massive claws. She
Okay,
lets
so
out a
seeing-
howl, and as she does so, she opens her eyes to look at you, and she blinks, and with that last blink, her eyes turn yellow, and she turns and starts bolting off towards the forest again.
Okay, can I just be like a little like what the fuck just happened? But also kind of like frozen in my tracks, I just let her go.
For sure. And as she takes off into the night, I think that is where we are going to end for the evening.
Oh god, I almost thought you killed Madison there for a second.
Fuck no, man. She's not even here.
I know, I was like, what is going on?
I'm thinking, geez, I just got Madison killed. This is going to be really hard to explain.
No. I had a plan. As that's why I was kind of like, does anybody want to do fire stories? Because I was hoping that I'd be able to, like, have her back for this part. Because I figure if people had some stories, it might have taken us to the end. But
Trying to stall time.
yeah, pretty much.
You should have just thrown a bunch of monsters in front of my face. Would have took all night.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could have done that, but I didn't think about that until later.
Yeah, and there's like a timing issue, right? Like if it takes too long to get into a battle, you're like, I want it to be done by the time the next person gets back. Garga's funny.
Yeah, so you guys have a new friendly companion. I can't wait to break your hearts.
Yeah, he can't stay with us forever.
He's gonna die, isn't he?
First time we go into town, someone's going to freak out, take a shot at him. Afraid.
Well, he smells better now, at least.
Yeah, imagine trying to be a pallbearer at that funeral.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
But yeah, you guys did an excellent job tonight. Everybody who is not already full on inspiration points can have an inspiration point. Remember, you guys can have up to 2. So, Zequas, you should start using that shit, bro.
I know, I need to use it. I can use it on ability checks and saves, right?
Attacks, ability checks, and saves.
Oh shit, okay. See, I could have won that freaking against that guy.
You could have.
That sucked. I was rolling so well too. I was like, oh yeah, and then just one not good enough roll.
Yeah. Honestly, he was actually beating you on most of his rolls, anyways.
I know. I saw his rolls were nuts. This is stupid. All my rolls are 20 or 22, and he's going off.
Yeah. But yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I had fun.
I'm going to throw in some notes in chat, and I think by sounds of it, it sounds like Maddie was talking about watching the replay of the stream at some point, so she knows what's going on. So let's not tell her about this. I want this shit to be a surprise.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. I can see it right now. She's gonna go off and fucking chat. You fucking killed me. You fucking killed me. And then she's gonna wait and get to the end and be like, "Oh, okay. I guess I did. Yeah. All right.
I didn't die."
Yeah.
the conflict is metagaming versus killing one of your party members. I'm like, dude, I don't want to kill her. She's a nice person.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have let you. No matter what happened, like
Thank
you would have been able to fucking like bring her back. Like I had absolutely no fucking intentions of like killing her. That's why I was like, oh, you're not waking up Garg for a watch. And he was like, no. I'm like, fuck, how am I gonna do this now?
Yeah, you found a nice way to sneak him in there.
Yeah.
I had forgotten that Garg could do watch with us, to be honest, and so I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing a double shift, obviously. So.
Well, I figured that since Ray's character likes to, sleep a lot more than others, I was like, you know what?
What do you mean?
It's gonna, dude. The amount of times people have like tried to wake you up, and you're like, your character's like, no, like, until Ren like legit picks your ass up. Yeah, no, I figured this is perfect. You know
My
what?
cat, after all.
Yeah, and then add in Rain, like she's gonna fucking hate that. She's gonna agree to go inside when fucking Garg says he'll take watch. I didn't see you waking up fucking Val though. I didn't expect that one.
I got scared.
Yeah, so originally the original plan was gonna be like, you know, after you went back in, he sees her, like he takes off after her. And then when he realized what he'd done, he was going to bring her fucking running back into camp. He was going to wake everybody up by trampling half the fucking camp. And, like, freaking out and shit. But instead, there was, you know, a PC there to see it. But yeah, that was fun.
A good day.
And, yeah, so, Val, after all this, are you going to try and catch your last, like, fucking, you know, hour and a half or whatever?
Oh no, dude, I'd be pumped with adrenaline. This is gonna be
Shit.
It's over. I'm gonna go back to sleep now.
Alright, well, in that case, you have one level of exhaustion going into this next day, sir.
Touch that.
Are you okay if I just roll for my lucky coin Dawn? Because I assume that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's just a D6, so.
Alright, make sure I got... Yeah, Ren's HP's where it should be. And then...
That works.
Roll. Ha! Nice. Let's see. What was it? Oh yeah, the calendar. I gotta change the calendar by a day.
Yeah, thanks for that lucky coin, by the way.
It's what he rolled. It just said, oh, there's a like a super shiny fucking copper coin. And I'm like I can't just let him sit there for half an hour and investigate it and like find out it's literally just, you know, a fucking spit polished like coin. So I just put coin into my compendium and it came up with 4 answers. And I was like, that one's OP. That one's trash. I'm like, you know what? For a random encounter, this one will do just fine.
Yeah, it's a nice little boost to have it. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yes, we are now on the 20th.
Technically, wouldn't we be going into the 21st?
No, because we started on the 18th. And then that second night is where you guys just ran into her. So it would be the start of the 20th is when you ran into her. Or when she, like, came up to camp. So you guys started on the 18th. You had your first day of travel with the rest of them, right? And then this was the 19th, and this is the long rest going into the 20th. But yeah, that is about it.
Awesome.
Ending on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, just gotta.
Well, at least she's not dead. That's the
Good
first
for
step. Step 1.
Yeah.
I was very close to shooting Garg initially.
I know. When you guys rolled that one, I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting.
I was like, ogre? Oh, that sounds cool. And then like everyone else, I was like, if I get everybody killed right now because I shot at a random ogre.
Yeah, no, he, I mean, I modded his stat block so he's more like a PC. you know, with like his damage and shit. But no, if you guys had attacked,
We gotta got murked. I had a feeling.
I think that at least one of you would have gone down. I mean, his original hit was 2d8 plus 5.
Damn.
He was just chilling in the open by a fire. There's no way he's an evil.
I know.
Come on.
That
This is a
was
complex
why I
world.
described it that way instead of him lurking. Like, dude, just sitting out in the field by
Yeah.
a fire.
But evil people take breaks too. Everybody does.
Not in the open.
Yeah, they do.
They keep their shady shit to the shadows.
This is why I have trust issues with wanting to take a fight in D&D, because it's like, oh, you're gonna go try to take a fight with that guy? Oh, he was actually good, by the way. Like, oh, you want to go kill a hill giant? Oh, he has a family and a child.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Like, see, the thing is that a lot of times I don't even know what's gonna happen until like, oh, you guys killed him. Cool. I'm gonna rip them heartstrings a bit.
Yeah, fuck.
Now and then I do have a plan, but like that hill giant one, that I planned that one like that night after that session.
Oh. We didn't see there was a kid. I was so down for to kill those hill giants.
Just remember, man, not everybody's evil. Just because their race is technically evil.
I know, considering I'm the dark elf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, I was. I feel like that was a pretty good game.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I had a good time. We got a lot. We had like, when I say like we got a lot done, we had a lot of interesting interactions.
Yeah, that's
Game pace was pretty fast for the most part.
Yeah, it's. I don't like doing random encounters too often, but it makes for a really good, nice filler session if like somebody's missing there, and like if she was just missing, like, and it didn't happen to be that time of the month for her character to like go through the change and shit, we would have just continued on like normal. Maybe done one day of random encounters, but the fact that she was like, you know, wolfing out and shit, it just happened to be that time when she got sick in real life. I was like, let's try and slow this down a little bit. This way she still has, you know, a little say in what she does for the first time she's transformed in this game. She still has...
That time of the month, you can say werewolf. We're all adults.
I mean... Blood tides. Yeah.
Oh my god.
She's a werewolf, right? But yeah. So,